Hello, everyone. I wanted to jump on today and simply have a conversation with all of you regarding the soul journey and some things that I have realized and moved through as of late regarding expansion and how so many times we resist that because it is so unknown. And stepping into the unknown can be incredibly scary. And again, like we tend to resist it and maybe even pull back or shrink down rather than moving forward into this more expansive state or into the next level of our life and of our soul journey here. And so, my intention is that this might connect some dots for you. You might be able to relate. You may be able to understand perhaps what you've been navigating as well. And so, a huge reminder that we are not meant to stay the same. And when you are here on a soul journey, that is a journey of growth and expansion and dark nights and walking with God and then not walking with God, getting pulled off the path essentially. Ego deaths for sure, extreme amounts of light and higher elevated states, so much energy and frequency coming through you. And then times where that feels completely shut down, times when you feel half alive or dead, like no life force energy flowing through you. Okay. And I want you to know that I have experienced all of those things, and all of those things are completely normal and part of this human experience. And yet, when we move through it and come to the other side, we can then go back to asking ourselves the questions like, how do I feel my best every day? What do I want to bring out to the world every single day? What do I want my energy to be for myself, for those around me, for the places that I go, for the people that I meet? Like, how am I going to leave an imprint on this world? And when I think of imprint, I totally think of an energetic imprint that we leave everywhere we go, every conversation that we have, every connection, all of that. And for myself, I'm always asking myself, how can I be the best today? How can I bring the best energy to everyone that I talk to, every place I go? And there was a time just a couple of months ago where I had had enough. And I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to get up early. I don't want to bring my best out to the world. I'm just kind of done. And so we go through those moments of that, of like heaviness, of this, yeah, like I don't want to show up for life type of thing. Okay. And yet in those moments of not showing up, we miss also so much of the goodness that is here for us and the goodness that we have to share, the blessings that we have to share, right? And so those kind of times of hiding away, those times of retreat are incredibly important to get back in touch with our soul. But yet, are we hiding because we're scared of visibility? Are we hiding because we don't know what's next? And so we retreat back into this comfort zone. Are we hiding because maybe a task has been presented to ourselves, to us, through God, through prayer, through dreams, through visions, and we think it might be too great of a task for us to accomplish. And so perhaps we retreat back and shrink back and play small. Okay. And so all of that being said, expansion was definitely calling me like the last 6 months, and I had been working up to it. I had shed some patterns. I had, shed some things, done a ton of healing work on some physical things that I was experiencing. I had worked really closely with God. I was in quiet a lot. connected a lot, out in nature a lot, while also having so much fun and playfulness because I had cleansed my body of that which was causing a heaviness or a fog or, just like too much sugar, too many carbs, not the right food that was allowing me to be light and playful and that feeling of just being free, right? And so anything that weighs us down, anything that causes us to feel heavy, at some point we want to shed a lot of that energy out of our field and out of our body so that we can be in, I believe, a higher elevated state. And when we're in that higher elevated state, like that's a lot of times when the visions come. That's when the messages come or the downloads come, when we're out in nature, when we're doing the nature walks, disconnected from our phones, disconnected from distraction or noise or other voices. Okay. And those like states of feeling free and playful and lighthearted, I truly believe those childlike states are our original blueprint of how we are meant to live here, how we are meant to be here. Okay. And again, we get in environments and we have things happen in our lives that cause a lot of heaviness and a lot of stress. And maybe we internalize that, or maybe our mind starts going crazy, or maybe other people's negativity or their energy really starts to weigh on us. Okay. And so all of that being said, like your soul, okay, it's here for forward movement. It's here for expansion and your life, like how you experience this physical world, right? You stepping up to run a business, you stepping up to run a retreat center, you stepping up to be a leader in whatever capacity, maybe in a new capacity that the world is calling you to be, that God is calling you to be, that other humans are calling you to be. Okay. There's a lot of that. And I know that I've had that at different times and I was resisting because my ego said, or this fear said, I don't want to, and I don't know how, and I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. And yet I knew that the light that was coming through me at times was incredibly extreme and intense and more capacity than most people could hold. And so when I think of it energetically, then I knew that that light was meant to be out in the world. Okay. Even if it terrified me, even if I didn't know how, it was more like bring your presence out into the world. Don't hide that away because that is meant to be shared. Okay. And so when we think of it energetically, like even if you don't know the how, you might know the what, you might know the end game or the end goal. And the how is presented to you step by step by step. The how is presented by listening to those nudges and allowing yourself to go to that place and go to that coffee shop and go to that event where you get nudged to go, where you then meet the person who has the next piece of the puzzle for your vision or for your journey or for what you're navigating through at this time, my loves. Okay. But I think and I feel that expansion can be so scary for us because it is so unknown. It can be so unknown. And that's where we lean into faith over fear. That's when we lean into like the teaching of Deepak Chopra and his book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, which I love. And one of those chapters is on the field of infinite possibilities. That is what the unknown is, the field of infinite possibilities. And you know what happens so many times is that our mind or our ego starts overthinking it. Or our mind or our ego creates some sort of block because that part of us wants to stay comfortable or small, or there's some fear there, or whatever it is that's kind of working against this expansion that wants to happen. Okay. And so I just wanted to bring this info up and out so you can be like, oh my God, how many times has fear shut me down, or have I retreated back, or have I stayed in the known because it was too scary or too whatever to step into the unknown? But again, that's where the freaking miracles are. That's where the magic is. That's where that infinite potentiality is that we can continue to allow to unfold in our life. Okay. And there's a lot of people being called right now to step up and out, and to step up and out as a leader. And again, like when I don't know, but what exactly does that look like? What I hear is bring your light and bring your presence out there in a way that's also beneficial to me. Like I don't always have to go to the dark, dingy places. As a matter of fact, they guide me away from a lot of those places to be in different places where it's more of a vibrational resonance as well. Now, don't get me wrong. I have had contracts to be in darker places to help move that energy and to bring the light into those places, and to learn what I needed to learn about light and energy and maintaining my energy and alchemizing and transmuting and all of those things and holding my own no matter where I was. Okay. But also we have this protection around us from God, from the universe, from our guides that we must listen to. Because when we work against that, we're going to be making choices and going places that are not truly beneficial to us, or even places that we really shouldn't be going at all. Okay. Where like the universe, God, our spirit guides are trying to guide us into like our highest potential, our happily ever after, things that would absolutely allow expansion to happen, places that love you so much that you haven't been yet, people that are going to embrace you with open arms that you haven't even met yet. Okay. And if we keep staying the same or in the same places around the same people, we are not only are we missing out, but then we're not bringing our blessings to the other people who also need it, my loves. Okay. So it all kind of like circles around. I go off on whatever is coming through at the time. But are you willing to allow expansion? Are you willing to move into the field of infinite possibilities, into the unknown, into that field of, okay, what's next? And maybe I don't know what's next. I'm going to sit with it. And I'm going to have some time in quiet and stillness. I'm going to pay attention to my dreams. I'm going to recommit to this path of spirit, of soul, of heart, of energy, of God. I'm going to open up my heart to be able to experience love on the deepest level that is here for me. And I'm going to freaking let my light shine and be committed and disciplined and focused enough to know when I've either interacted or engaged with something that dimmed my light, or ate something or drank something that wasn't a vibrational match for me any longer, and it affected my energy, right? And I'm just going to observe and hold myself accountable enough to say, I want my light to be the strongest it can be every single day. And so in order for that to happen, things like early morning walks, superfood nutrition, good herbs and teas and cucumber water and sunshine, and all of those things that I absolutely need in order to have the greatest capacity of energy, light, frequency flowing through me so that I can share that with the world. Okay. And perhaps that's you too. And my friends, I'm still doing coaching work, and I have learned so much about this, and my own personal lived experience of, not only nutrition, but so many other things that I've learned about energy and life force, and allowing it to keep flowing through. Okay. So again, so many of us are called for expansion right now. Step up and lead. Keep moving forward into the unknown, bringing out our most playful, joyful, childlike selves to experience this world, because it doesn't have to be all the heavy stuff. it doesn't have to be heavy. It can be so humorous along the way. It can be so much fun along the way, as long as we allow it to be. All right, my loves. So I would love to hear from you. Questions, comments, insights below. You can email me. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Please do subscribe and like my channel. If you want more information or like do a video on this, or I want to know more about this, just let me know, because I would love to hear what all of you desire or even need at this time, and to be able to support you in those ways. So much love, many blessings. Thank you all so much for being here, and I'll see you again very soon.